Okay, so this is the continuation kasi naputol ng video ko sa absolutory causes, mitigating circumstance, and aggravating circumstance, and alternative. So ito yung continuation. Um, so let us discuss yung number 7, which is voluntary surrender and voluntary confession of guilt before the court. So basically, kung surrender ka sa court, then that will be mitigating circumstance. Bababa yung sentensya mo dito. Kung mag-plea of guilty ka, voluntary confession of guilt, then bababa din ang sentensya mo. Okay, that is the two. Dalawa yan. Dalawa yung mitigating circumstance na pwede mong avail sa number 7. Ito naman, the offender is deaf, dumb, blind, or otherwise suffering from some physical defect. So kung yung tao ay may physical defect, deaf, dumb, pipi, bingi, uh, yung blind, hindi nakikita, no? That could be a mitigating circumstance. Illness of the offender which would diminish the exercise of willpower. So yung illness, no, of the offender would diminish the exercise of his willpower. That could be a mitigating circumstance. Like yung postpartum depression ng mga babae, no? Magaling sa pag-anak. Yung tuberculosis, yung masakit ng tuberculosis, that could be a mitigating circumstance. And finally, other circumstances of similar nature or goes to those mentioned above. Now, there are two kinds of mitigating circumstance. Ito yung ordinary mitigating circumstance at privilege mitigating circumstance. So, dalawa yan. Anong ibig sabihin ng ordinary? It is susceptible of being offset. Pwede mawala. Kasi kung may dalawang aggravating, isa lang ang mitigating, mawawala yung mitigating. Mag-prevail yung aggravating kasi dalawa yung aggravating. Offset yan. And it can be offset by aggravating circumstance. Pero ang privilege mitigating, it cannot be offset by aggravating circumstance. Hindi pwedeng mawala yan. And it will lower the penalty by 1 degree or 2 degrees. Okay, example. Ano ang mga example ng privilege mitigating? Minority. Above 15, less than 18, acting with discernment, automatic, 1 degree lower yan. It cannot be offset by aggravating circumstance. Hindi yan pwede mawala kahit may aggravating circumstance. Incomplete justifying or accepting circumstance. Ito yung incomplete self-defense, incomplete defense of stranger, or incomplete defense of relatives. Kung that is privilege mitigating circumstance, and they are 1 degree lower also. Ano pa yung privilege mitigating circumstance? There are 2 or more mitigating and no aggravating, then there will be 1 degree lower. That is privilege mitigating. Punta tayo sa kinds of aggravating circumstance. We have generic, specific, qualifying, and of course, the inherent. But let us first discuss generic. Ang tawag nga dyan is generic kasi those that can be generally applied to all crimes. Sa halos lahat ng kaso, to all crimes. Kaya nga sa generic. Like in dwelling, pag na-commit yung crime sa loob ng bahay, dwelling, that's aggravating. Nighttime, you committed the crime at nighttime para hindi ka ma-identify, that's generic, no? Kahit anong crime. Recidivism, generic siya if it is embraced under the same title. Specific naman, kaya nga tawag dyan specific kasi that applies only to particular crimes. Applicable lang siya sa particular crimes. Like ignominy, ignominy? Added moral insult, ay applicable siya sa crimes against chastity. Anong example ng crimes against chastity? Like rape. Yung ignominy kasi ganito yan. Pag ni-rape mo yung wife sa harap ng kanyang husband, or yung ni-rape mo yung mother sa harap ng kanyang anak, yan na is ignominy, added moral insult. Cruelty naman is applicable to crimes against person. Pag dahan-dahan mong pinatay ang isang tao, or tinorture mo muna bago mo pinatay, that's cruelty. That's cruelty, and that is applicable lang sa crimes against person. Ano naman ang qualifying? Are those change the nature of offense? So, ang keyword is change the nature of the crime. Example, yung treachery at evident premeditation which qualifies the killing to murder. Diba? Pag ang pagpatay ay may treachery, ang pagpatay ay may evident premeditation, ang kaso ay magiging murder. It qualifies to murder. Okay? 4 is inherent. When inherent, those that must be necessity accompanying commission of crime, Sample, evident premeditation is inherent in crime of robbery, theft, and estafa. Evident premeditation means careful planning. So, yung pagpaplano ay part niyan sa robbery, theft, and estafa. So, ano pang aggravating circumstance, no? In contempt or insult to public authorities. Ano to? Pag you committed a crime in front of mayor, congressman, governor, that is aggravating circumstance. Contempt or insult to public authorities. Evident premeditation, this is careful planning. There is sufficient lapse of time. Treachery or alibusia, when the offender commits any crimes against person, employing means, methods, and forms of execution, which would tend directly or especially to ensure execution. The key word is ensure execution without risk to himself arising from defense which the offended party may make. So, you did not give a person a chance to defend himself. No? The victim, you did not give the victim a chance to defend himself. Binaril mo sa likod. Treachery yun. Ginamitan mo ng sniper rifle. Tapos binaril mo, that is treachery. And that could be murder. Unlawful entry. There is unlawful entry when the entrance of a crime is wall, roof, floor, door, window be broken. So, yung mga termite gang, okay? So, sinira yung floor, window, roof, o kaya yung wall para makomit yung crime, that's unlawful entry. And that's aggravated circumstance. On occasion of conflagration, shipwreck, earthquake, epidemic, and other calamity or misfortune. So, if you commit a crime on conflagration, like fire, shipwreck, yung paglubog ng barko, earthquake, epidemic, and other calamity, then that's aggravating circumstance. With aid of armed person or ensure for infinity, so kung may kasama kang armed person sa paggamit ng crime, aggravating yan. In consideration of price, reward, or promise, pag pumatay ka ng tao kasi may price, reward, or promise, that is murder. That's aggravating. Deliberately augmented aid because yung under wrong necessary for commission, like ito yung cruelty na sinasabi natin, danda mong pinatay. Abuse of confidence o abuse ng gratefulness. Ito, pag nagnakaw, no? Pinakain mo na, pinapasok mo sa bahay mo, pinakain mo na, ninakawan ka pa. That is abuse of confidence or abuse and gratefulness, walang utang na loob. And that could be qualified theft. Insult disregard to respect due to offended party on account of his rank, age, and sex. Pag sinuntok mo yung opisyal mo, chief of police mo, then that would be aggravating. Sinuntok mo yung matanda na, alam mo matanda na, sinuntok mo pa rin. It's age, disregard of age. Or sinuntok mo yung babae, alam mo babae yan, sinuntok mo pa rin. That is disregard of sex. In the palace of chief executive, yung si palace of chief executive, ito yung Malacanang. Or in his presence ng presidente. If you committed a crime in the presence of the president or in the palace, then that is aggravating. Nighttime, no? Or uninhabited place, that is also aggravating. By means of inundation, fire, poison, explosion, standing a vessel, it's also aggravating. By the way, ito ay aggravating or qualifying aggravating of murder. Pag pumatay ka ng tao using fire, poison, or explosion, or standing a vessel, that's murder. Murder ang kaso dyan. Or when the offender takes advantage of his public position, no? Yung public position niya, take advantage niya. Ni-rape niya yung yung ginuli nila. That's aggravating circumstance. Or recidivist. Take note, no? Although we'll discuss recidivist in future videos. Recidivist will only apply if a person is previously convicted of a crime embraced under the same title. So, meron siyang previous conviction of a crime embraced under the same title. Yung first crime niya is homicide. Yung second crime niya is rape. So, rape and homicide is the same. Crimes against person. First crime niya ay palagay natin theft. Second crime is robbery. The same. Crimes against property. And the offender has been presumably punished by offense which the law attaches equal or greater penalty. Ito yung reiteration or habituality. We'll discuss that later. Or there is advantage of superior strength. Okay, let's go to alternative. Ang alternative, ang tatanong niyan, yung monos ko dyan is RID. Read. Yung iba dyan, ride. Okay, ride. Ano yung ride? Relationship, intoxication, and degree of instruction and education yung ride. Okay, pwede read or ride, no? Now, relationship, if you take advantage of the relationship para mag-commit mo yung crime, then that is aggravating. Example, ni-rape mo yung pamangkin mo. You take advantage of your relationship. That's aggravating. Pero kung binubog mo yung anak mo kasi gusto mong disiplinahin, that could be mitigating. Intoxication, ngayon tayo yung intoxication. Kung sinadya mong magpakalasing para makomit mo yung crime, that's intoxication. Intoxication yan. Pero, kung um, lasing ka, tapos nakakomit ka ng crime kasi lasing ka, then that is mitigating. Okay? The grip instruction or education, kung ginamit mo yung nalaman mo sa batas sa pag-commit ng crime, that is aggravating. Pero kung wala kang alam sa batas, wala kang degree of instruction education, that could be mitigating. Okay, so let's go to question and answer. 1. No criminal but only civil liability shall result from the commission of crime of swindling, theft, swindling, malicious mischief committed because mutually by following person. The exception is. So again, no, sa kasong TMS, anong TMS, theft, swindling, malicious mischief, may mga taong hindi criminally liable because sa absolutory cause. Ang tanong dito, sino dyan ang hindi exempted? Sino dyan ang liable? The answer is of course yung uncle. Spouse, pag yung wife nagnakaw sa husband, hindi liable yung wife. Great-grandchildren, pag yung apo nagnakaw sa lolo, lola, hindi liable yun. Brothers-in-law, if they're living together, hindi liable din yun. 2. Is a spouse or ascendant who conceal, destroy the body of crime or effects instrument thereof to prevent is discovered criminally liable. Pag ang spouse ba at ascendant naging accessory to crime, are they liable? The answer here is no. Because that is absolutory causes. Absolutory causes yan. Pag yung spouse at ascendants ay naging accessory sa crime, they are not liable. That is absolutory cause. 3. The officer in civilian clothes asked X where he can buy shabu. X responded by asking the officer how much of the drug he needed. He told him X left, returned after a few minutes with the shabu, give it to the officer and took his money. X is, well, this is liable because that is a valid entrapment. Okay? Kasi that's a valid entrapment. Pero kung instigation yun, then that is not liable kasi instigation is absolutory cause yan. 4. A legally married person who having surprised his spouse in the act of committing sexual intercourse with another person shall kill any of them or both of them in the act of immediately thereafter. Is he criminally liable? The answer is no because that is absolutory cause. Okay? But remember, applicable ito sa legally married person, mag-asawa. And yung isang asawa ay na-surprise yung spouse niya in the act of sexual intercourse with another person. And he kill any of them or both of them. Okay? So, that is absolutory cause or death under exceptional circumstance. 5. Minority is a privileged mitigation circumstance which operates to reduce the penalty by degree where the child is. Well, the answer here is below 18 active with discernment. So, ang minority ay magiging mitigating lang yan if below 18 acting with discernment. Kasi yung minority, pwede yung exempting if 15 years old and below, exempting to without discernment. Exempted yan. Above 15 but below 18 acting without discernment, exempted pa rin yan. Pero ito, 18 years old, hindi na exempted yan. Liable na yan. 6. Presence of mitigating circumstance in a crime. Anong epekto ng mitigating circumstance? Well, it will affect the imposable penalty depending on other modifying circumstance. Kasi nga, kahit meron nga isang mitigating, dalawa naman yung aggravating mo, mawawala yung mitigating, ma-offset yun, mariremain yung aggravating kasi dalawa. Yan yung effects, no? Hindi siya automatically reduced unless it is privilege mitigating. 7. A kind of aggravating circumstance that's applicable only to particular crimes. When you say particular crimes, it is specific. Particular crimes, that will be specific. Jose and Pedro are quarreling on street. The municipal mayor, upon passing by, attempts to separate them to stop the quarrel. Jose and Pedro continued to quarrel until Jose succeeded in killing Pedro. Is there any aggravating circumstance? Remember, na-commit ang crime sa harap ni municipal mayor. So, anong qualifying circumstance? Anong aggravating circumstance yan? That is contempt or insult to public authorities. Hindi nyo na ginalang si mayor. Okay? 9. A and B were sweethearts. B told A that he no longer cared for him and that she loved another man. A stabbed B to death. Was there aggravating circumstance of disregard of sex? The answer is no. Kasi napatay niya yung sweetheart niya, yung kasintahan niya, out of jealousy. Not of disregarding the sex, no, no. But out of jealousy yun. 10. Execution of offender shall be taken into consideration as mitigating. Well, ang intoxication ay magiging mitigating lang yan kung the offender is not habitual. Kasi kung letter B yan, it is subsequent to the plan of committing faithful in that is aggravating. Kasi yung intoxication, uminom siya para makommit niya yung crime. Okay? Subsequent to the plan of committing the felony. Yun yung plano niya, mag-inom siya para makommit niya yung crime. Pero ito, yung isa naman, when especially suit, no? Again, no? Nag-inom siya para maging bold siya at saka makommit niya yung crime. That is aggravating. Okay, when the offender commits any of the crimes against person, employing means, methods, and forms, execution thereof, which directly or especially to ensure its execution, with the risk to himself arising from the offense, with the offended party he might make there is treachery and treachery. You did not give a person a chance to defend himself. Evident premeditation is careful planning. Ignominy is added moral insult. O, ni-rape sa harap ng husband. Cruelty is yung added physical injury. Dahan-dahan mong pinatay. No? Tinorture mo muna. 12. Before killing his victim, Abel drank gin to make him bolder in the commission of crime. What alternative is present? Well, of course, kasi gin yan. Minom siya ng gin para makomit yung crime. So, that is intoxication. Okay, I think that's the last one. This is just a continuation of the topic now.